Hello, this is Dr. Janet Hall, and I'm a sex therapist in Melbourne, Australia. And I wrote this book here, which is called Sex Wise. And it's really for teenagers who just want to check in because you think you know everything already. And what I wanted to share with you today is my list of how to know whether I really should be having sex. Am I really ready? Is it right for me? Because I don't want you to get pressured into thinking that you have to have sex, and certainly not that you have to, basically perform. And even a little bit like what you see in pornography, which isn't real sex, it's horrible sex where women are objectified and men are supposed to be stallions. So here's your little checklist that I want you to think about. First of all, are you ready to have sex? Do you have your sex facts right? And this is where you might want to read my book. But also, have you talked about sex to a responsible adult? Maybe you don't want to talk to your parents because you're not comfortable, but certainly just checking in with an adult whom you respect could be really, really good for you. So have you read a good book like my book, and do you really know all the bits about sex and how it works? Do you know about the different sexual techniques? Here's a test. Could you draw an accurate diagram of the male and female internal and external genitals? If you can't, I'd suggest that you get hold of a book and study it up until you can, because knowledge is power. The next thing to ask is, are you with the right partner? Really, some people have sex the first night they meet someone when they're drunk. So how long have you really known this other person? Do you really like each other, or are you just doing it because you are drunk, or because you've been set up, or just because you think you have to? Next, ask yourself, do you have the right place? So, backseat of a car or up against a fence in a vacant lot is not a safe place because you might be interrupted. And sure as heck, you're going to be really uncomfortable. That leads into, is it the right time? And do you have enough time? Will you be rushed? Ideal sex is when you're suspended in time and you have as much time as you need. Also, don't do it if you're tired, because if you sober sex is the best sex, and fresh sex early in the morning when you've just woken up is often the best. Also ask yourself, am I doing this for the right reason? Is this for lust or for love? Am I just trying to keep up with everybody else? Am I buying into the fairy tales about sex? Things like women are supposed to always orgasm simply from intercourse. That's not true. Only 25% of women can have orgasms with intercourse. So are you being sucked into the media portrayals of sex where people have, simultaneous multiple orgasms? Are you the right age? In Australia, you really should be over 16. Now stop laughing, because I know some of you are only 13 or 14. But are you really mature enough at 13 or 14? Do you have the right protection? Do you have the safest, most appropriate and practical contraception? Because you see, when you're truly sex-wise, you're ready to make clear and mature choices about you and sex. If you would like to get a copy of my checklist, you could just email me, jan@drjanethall.com.au, and I'd be happy to send it to you. But meanwhile, do make sex-wise choices that are appropriate for your age, appropriate for your personality, and that you will always wake up the next morning with your spirit and your body and your heart feeling safe. Thanks, and I wish you a sensational sex life.